What up, y'all? How is everybody? I'm feeling a little puny today. I have kind of crazy wet hair. I just got out of the tub and I am just chilling. I'm gonna find something good to watch on Netflix and eat something hot and cozy and comforting. But first, we're gonna talk about our cards for the middle of the week. So if you don't already, go follow me at Liz_Taylor_Magick. I'll try to remember to include that link under the video description. There's just so many things to remember. I have a swipe file. I'll just add it to that. It's just never ending added things. Yeah, and while you're there in the description, if you like the decks that I use, I often will include links where you can find them. I have an Etsy shop where I make talismans and charms. And if you want to support this channel by making a donation, I have a PayPal link if you wish. Also, if you are enjoying this content, feel free to like this video. Let me know in the comments what's resonating with you, or if you've had anything come to fruition, or if something like random that I said was like specific for you. I always like hearing about those things. And then let's see, subscribe, share, whatever you can do to like take action on videos helps them get out into the algorithm and helps other people find them too. So that helps me so much. So I appreciate all that you guys do. All right, so let's get to it. We pulled out of the Vintage Wisdom Oracle intention, release, and beauty. And then underneath, we pulled Eight of Wands, which I love. I love this little Eight of Wands. The Moon. It's a really powerful moon card, I think. Three of Pentacles, and underneath in the central column was Two of Wands. And my overall impressions of the message are that as we're kicking off this like launching energy into 2023, we're coming out of January having like sat with a lot of things and processed, and we have reflected. And so now it's like we're gathering ourselves again, and we need to focus our intention. We need to be careful not to let the pushback from our ego play with our thoughts and emotions and insecurities and send us into spirals. We need to focus our feelings and set our intention so that we can maintain our energy and our feelings and our thoughts and our moods, right? Because that is how we find stability in our life. That is how we find stability in like our like magnetism and the flow and ease in which we can align with like the harmony and cosmic flow of the universe, which is beauty. So right now we have to release our fears, our anxieties, our needless worries, our insecurities, things that trigger us or make us jealous or whatever it is, these dark shadows that seem to be holding us back or getting us triggered and upset and distracted from the opportunity that's in front of us to find beauty even within challenges, even within triggering situations. People can cause us to elevate and grow. And to be magnetic work, when you're looking for expanders who reflect, the things, the goals that you want to achieve, one of the highlighters that helps you know you're on the right track is looking at jealousy in a positive way and realizing that you're just recognizing your potential in that person and realizing that you deserve it too, and that you do desire that as well, and that it should be possible for you too. So instead of letting that cause you suffering and making it trigger you into your shadow self, let that be inspiring, right? Look at the beauty of it and let that expand you, and celebrate other people's wins. And like when you open your heart for other people like that, it opens the opportunity for you too. So that's one thing. Releasing your fears, releasing your reluctancy to just sort of let go, right? There's something here because, oh, motherfucker. Just dropped my cards behind the couch. So, should I just pause? I'm going to pause. Okay, I'm back from below the couch. So, what I was getting at is there's something going on in our, it's like in our subconscious that's coming up. It's coming up within our outer lives. It's coming up in something that we like can't see the whole picture of what's going on. But both of these cards, even the third one that was at the very bottom, the moon, a full moon, or, I mean, it looks like a full moon. This one it looks like it's maybe in a phase of waning into the new moon after the full moon, and then it's full again. So it's like a whole moon cycle or whatever, like a month. I'm just getting that time period now, but something about the moon. And so it's like we're releasing our fears. The moon often like symbolizes the things in the unknown that frighten us. This woman is sitting on a wall, and it's like the wall between her conscious and her subconscious. The water, the murky dark waters here, symbolize the depths of her unconscious or subconscious. And so the tentacles coming up from the water are like the depths of her feelings that threaten to take her under into the abyss, right? Into, you know, the unknown. And so she is turning her back to her feelings, right? Because she's trying to avoid them. Meanwhile, this wild dog that's depicted in the moon card, often it's accompanied by a domesticated dog, where the domesticated dog is like our domesticated, civilized human self. The wild dog represents our primal self. It can also represent our mind run wild with fears, whereas the domesticated dog is more self-mastered and self-controlled. The moon reflects, the light of the moon reflects what has been dark, right? And it wanes and it comes and it goes and it fluctuates. So something about this is like there's this trepidation, there's this fear of the unknown, and we have to release those fears and that trepidation and that uncertainty and focus our intent to be decisive, right? We can't be like in and out or wobbly with our energy. It's like when bees can smell fear, or you know what I mean? Like if you can't like control a horse, like if the horse, if you're not like sure of yourself, like the horse doesn't want to get along with you. So be willing to face these parts of your subconscious, the parts of you that feel very deeply, or your subconscious motivations that are driving you, or the things about yourself that you just haven't been conscious to, your unconscious programming that's driving you on autopilot. Be willing to face these things so that they can be finally released and they're not having a hold on you and a grip on you anymore. You're diffusing your energy from your intention of your manifestations because you are in a cycle of, you know, emotional ups and downs and ebbs and flows. And what we're trying to do is gain consistency so we can be more like the sun, eternal, right? More like God, more like the Christ, eternal, unwavering. So we're finding that consistency by bringing to light what has been subconsciously driving us that we have not been aware of. And the more clear that we get about that, the more we unblock ourselves to bring our manifestations in and to unlock our greater potential. The girl in the bottom of the central column here is holding the world in her hands. I like that she is sitting on a rooftop. It's like she's sitting on top of the roof, peering out from a higher perspective over the wall that her shadow side is sitting on the level of the subconscious. I do like too how the figure on the roof has a more childlike, whimsical outfit on. I think it looks like they're about the same age, so I don't know, but I think it just symbolizes a more innocent, fresh outlook. And so, you know, this character here is in a higher perspective, sitting on a solid source of security, holding the world in her hands and facing the moon directly, facing her fears directly, facing the unknown directly. And then is illuminated by, you know, the reflection of that illumination, which the moon reflects the sun. It's like the moon is like our understanding when we connect with our consciousness. So I think that like this girl here, she's got a hold of her dreams and her vision, and she knows what her potential is, but she hasn't answered the call to adventure yet. She hasn't left the comfort zone. Oh, read the description box below. I've included the written blog for the reading, but it was all about like, this is the point in the story where the hero gets the call to adventure, which I'm seeing in the 8 of Wands. It's like after a difficult period, this character is now lighter and more clear and more like sees what needs to happen in order to move forward. They see the situation for what it is now. They know it needs to be done, and they're ready. They're ready to move forward, and because they now have all this clarity, like their intentions can go forward more unencumbered, right? She's being carried by the wind, carried by spiritual support, surrendering to where the winds of change are taking her, right? So very exciting. The 8 of Wands also symbolizes a lot of fast movement and forward momentum, and like things moving forward and progressing with a lot of success and then building momentum. It can also mean communication. A lot of communication is going back and forth, lots of movement. It's like positive busyness, and it's like a lot of energy. It could also include travel, like frequent travel, or it's just like that energy of like busy bee, buzz, go, go, go. The 3 of Pentacles, which came next? Oh, so the 8 of Wands came before the moon. And so the 3 of Pentacles is over here. And it's like, as we are feeling like we've come to the end of a time of struggle and uncertainty, we're clear about what needs to be done, we're now ready to like face our fears and move forward. And it's like we're breaking through this wall with the 3 of Pentacles. There's like this ongoing theme, you know, of these moons and these walls and these illustrations. And it's like this something about like a wall is up and we're not seeing clearly, and breaking down these barriers, right? And breaking through what's holding us back and what's keeping us behind these like fortresses, right? We need to meet these walls, these challenges, you know, and find doors through them and make them opportunities to unlock our potential instead of holding us back. It's part of phase 3 of creation, is learning how to like endure the initiation of challenge and find grit and persistence, and like let that strengthen your faith, because you know that faith is a muscle that you have to choose to work out, and it's not just something that happens like by accident. So it's a chance for you to work on your faith. But 3 of Pentacles is also about like people seeing you, like mastering a skill and wanting to work with you. It's like the first level of completion in bringing the physical aspects together. It can also be about collaborating with like-minded individuals, or like beginnings of new friendships, relationships. A lot of times it's literally talking about creative partnerships or collaborations, or an apprentice beginning to take on clients and things like that, or beginning to be recognized for your expertise and then like getting kind of promoted or paid well for that. So something is unlocking the way for us to start stepping into our potential, right? It's like we're ready to, we've got the vision, we're inspired, we know where we're headed, and we have our intention. And now we need to go from phase 2 of Wands and the inspiration to phase 3 of Pentacles, which is starting to put bricks to mortar. And, you know, this card in traditional tarot depicts a mason, I think is who it is, and their patrons building a cathedral, and they're like discussing the architecture and the design, and the craftsman is up on the bench, like, you know, sharing his big vision with the people who are underneath them, and they're excited about building something together, building something that has meaning, that's inspiring, right? So yeah, it's about coming together in a collaborative spirit, in a fruitful way, in a very productive way, and maybe a creative and joyful way too. So I'm liking this week. I think it's just about releasing our fears, or releasing our hesitance to face our fears. Because once we shine a light on that monster in the closet, we see that it was just distorted clothes in the shadows, right? So face the things that you don't want to look at, and that way they are not haunting you and they are not holding control over you. And as you look at these things and you process them, you're seeing the real beauty in all of it, even in the challenge. You're like, oh, I can see how this can play out in my favor, or I can see how this is growing me. This challenge is stretching me. This challenge is forcing me to reflect. Whatever it is, we can choose to see the beauty in life, or the brutality of life. And so the more we release and surrender and let go and release our suffering and our grip on control and the things that create suffering for us, release attachment, we can surrender to the cosmic harmony and flow and trust God's plan, right? And let that hold you and lead you and guide you, okay? So yeah, I love it. It's going to be a really good moon cycle, I feel. I think that this is kind of like hinting at the whole month, and it's not just about the middle of the week. But yeah, I think that fast movement can happen, but it's going to, like, your willingness to face those fears and slay those dragons, that unlocks the magic. That's the initiation that gives you the talisman. That's the Mario jumping on the little like mushroom monster that gives him like the big Mario powers. That is like the sacrifice that you break open, like you slay the monster to release their like force of power, their life force, that is then intentionally transmuted into your ascension, into your powers. So when you slay your demons, they become your powers, right? And that is when you transcend them, when you overcome them, right? And it releases that energy, and then you transmute that into good, into light, into positive. All right. Well, I hope that y'all have a good rest of your, whenever you're watching this. I can't believe that was only 12 minutes. I feel like we said so much. Oh no, it was just the first half, the second half. I forgot we have a whole other half of the video. I have clips to edit. All right. I will see y'all tomorrow. Ciao.